Pension a go-go, baby. What's good, guys? Yoku here, and Hoyoverse just gave us yet another anime character who dishes out insane damage. Argenti is a rather simple and straightforward character through and through. Take big spear, jump in air, do big PP damage, then get the girls. In today's video, I'll cover some of the easiest ways to bring out the highest damage in his kit, his best free-to-play light cones, and what teams really juice him up. Introducing my Maximum Ultimate Mega Edition Super Duper Ultra Super Saiyan Argenti.
Beauty is universal. She is within our grasp and beyond the expanse of the cosmos. Argenti of the Honor-Clad swears to you.
Explaining Argenti should be simple and clean, but if there's any cool tech you want to share with the community, feel free to leave it in the comments below. For the remainder of this video, Argenti is level 80, equipped with a 4-piece physical set, his signature light cone, a Knight's Pilgrimage, and his talents are 88810, locked in Eidolon 0. Any footage showcasing the 4-star light cone Today is Another Peaceful Day will be labeled on the screen when it pops up. Star Rail's version of Kurama exceeds at demolishing a multitude of enemies at once with some ridiculous 850% damage multiplier. This will mostly be the effect of his unique talent, Sublime Object, which honestly, I think this might be one of the easiest talents in the game. It gives you 3 energy for every enemy you hit and grants you up to 10 stacks of crit rate that can total out to 25% permanently, forever. I mean, you punch 10 enemies in the honor of your queen, and Argenti receives half a chess piece in terms of stats for the rest of the battle. It's not broken, but it's definitely not weak either. This talent becomes even better when you couple this with his second and third bonus abilities. Generosity immediately regenerates an extra 2 energy when an enemy enters the field, and Piety, giving him 1 stack of Apotheosis at the start of a turn, which is Apotheosis is the crit rate stacks, by the way. Come on, guys, keep up. It's like perfectly balanced. His basic attack is kind of whatever, single target. More than likely only using this if you're trying to top off on energy and save a skill point. Justice Hereby Blooms is Argenti's skill, and this is the bulk of what you're clicking in the battle. Popping everyone on the field for the same damage is what Erudition characters do best. What helps him to deal even more damage is his first bonus ability, Courage. That's gonna deal an extra 15% damage towards enemies who have 50% or less HP. It's also the easiest way to stack up the crit rate for his talent before popping his ultimate. And speaking of his ultimate, the name is long, but the charge time is, I mean, truthfully, it might be just as long, but that doesn't fit with my joke. Argenti's ultimate normally costs 90 energy, which is pretty low and incredibly useful for picking off waves of low HP enemies when you want to clear said wave before it leaves. 0 cycle MOC 10 anyone? The ultimate deals a solid chunk of damage by itself, but is that really gonna impress the queen? Right now, Argenti needs to double down and raise his energy by the power of 2. So by consuming 180 energy, Argenti's ultimate damage doubles. On top of that, he deals even more damage an extra 6 times, up to almost 100% of his own attack. That's practically 600 extra percent on top of the 250 something from his ultimate, totaling out to nearly 850. Like, bruh, do you know how much damage someone could do with a near 1000% multiplier across the entire board? That's insane. It's even more insane when I tell you how easy it is to build this guy. Let's talk about the easiest builds to net 1,000,000 damage.
Beauty is universal. She is within our grasp and beyond the expanse of the cosmos. Argenti of the Honor-Clad swears to you.
Let's open the floor with the easier part of his gear loadout first. Relics. Champions of Streetwise Boxing was the most comfortable 4-piece set I found on Argenti. Permanent attack increase adding into his own talents, permanent crit rate increase made it so that I could be a little less stressed about Relic RNG. And y'all know how I feel about Relic RNG. Musketeer the Wild Wheat did well as a secondary option for general purposes and speed boost, but a 2-piece between the two could benefit you just as well. I love the new Glamoth set because it gives equal to or more damage all around. But Inert Salcedo is probably the best universal option to add crit rate and ultimate damage, and on top of the fact that you don't have to farm a new planar ornament set. For my light cones, I believe it's safe to say his own signature one, once again a Knight's Pilgrimage, is the best in the slide. That's his best in slide. It is what it is. It gives you a raw increase in crit damage for free, and guys, for free doesn't mean you get it for free, like you don't use spend any money. You know what I mean? Like you still gotta spend the bread to get the, or you can get like a free temple, I don't know. But the second part of his light cone could be explained as an enhanced version of Today is Another Peaceful Day, giving you an almost 65% damage increase on top of your ultimate damage. And with that kind of buff, that's gonna get you the 1 million damage to impress the queen. But speaking of today is another peaceful day, that just happens to be his second best light cone. This is the battle pass light cone, so I don't expect too many people to have multiple copies of this. But for those of you who happen to have only one copy of this light cone, you can expect a nice 32% damage increase, not just to your ultimate, but to all your damage. However, if you happen to have an S5 of this weapon, it's easily matching and possibly out damaging his signature light cone. So this light cone increases the damage of the wearer, period, not just the ultimate damage. Now, I personally don't have an S5, but looking at a 64% damage increase across my entire kit, I don't know, it's kind of got me looking like this right now. The last light cone I want to recommend is Genius's Repose, increasing your attack naturally and your crit damage after defeating an enemy. Having super impositions of this makes it even better, seeing as how you can essentially give yourself a permanent 50% increase in crit damage just by killing an enemy. Well, I guess given the fact that you would have to make sure you take out the boss within those 3 turns, otherwise you lose the bonus. But hey, I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with any of these options, and it simply comes down to what you have available at your disposal. Let's finish this guide up with a complete team.
Beauty is universal. She is within our grasp and beyond the expanse of the cosmos. Argenti of the Honor-Clad swears to you.
Regarding Argenti's best team comps, he's surprisingly selfish as heck. And I mean really selfish. I thought Jing Yuan was selfish, but I think Argenti might be more selfish. For me, that tends to be a bad thing, but in the real world, this is far from bad. Argenti does so much damage on his own that it practically felt like adding anyone else to the team to help him do damage just got in the way. A prime example of this would be my go-to team: Jing Yuan, Argenti, Hanya, and Huohuo. This was by far the best team that helped me build up his double ultimate the fastest. Jing Yuan used her ultimate every few turns, recharging energy for Argenti while also increasing his damage and advancing his turn order. Hanya adds burden to the main target, increasing the damage they receive and giving the team free skill points. Ooh, and if you add that new Penacony set to her too, let's not forget her ultimate further boosts both Argenti's speed and attack for the next 2 turns. Then Huohuo also boosts his attack and energy thanks to her ultimate, and you're essentially quadruple buffing this man's attack into infinity and beyond. Everything just dies. Next up was replacing Hanya with Branya. You see what I did there with the 2 Yas? Okay, it wasn't funny, my bad.
That's funny to you.
The use of combat deployment essentially removes the need for both speed boots and any extra speed buffers on the team. She also boosts his damage every time she brings him forward, which helps build up his ultimate even faster alongside Jing Yuan and Huohuo. The final selection of team ideas consisted of me playing around with double Erudition, Nihility instead of a second Harmony unit, or even trying to run the team without Huohuo in order to see if he could comfortably gain enough energy for the double ultimate. Needless to say, it was kind of rough, and that's me sugarcoating it. Other Erudition characters kind of worked, but only at the expense of using 2 other SP positive units, and even then, Argenti still wanted to get all the damage buffs. Single target characters like Su Shang didn't really add much value either, given the fact that Argenti would just blow up the field faster than having all 5 Exodia cards in your hand. So for the rare time, I think Hyper Carry is Argenti's best team comp. Crazy, I know. EO just said that.
The beauty is universal. She is within our grasp and beyond the expanse of the cosmos. Argenti of the Honor-Clad swears to you.
Finally, we come down to the universal question: E1 or his signature light cone. A Knight's Pilgrimage is a great way at increasing his crit damage for the cost of a light cone, while also significantly boosting his ultimate damage exclusively. However, in the event you have today as another peaceful day, somewhere around S3 or higher, you might actually find more value out of the E1 due to the fact it grants you crit damage along with crit rate from those 10 stacks I mentioned earlier, which essentially gives you a 40% crit damage compared to the 36% you'd get from the weapon. Now, if you just happen to have both.
Now that's a lot of damage.
That's it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button. Argenti's cool. I like him. I enjoyed the fact that he wasn't some complex DPS character that required me to think more about the plays I make instead of just playing the game. It was relaxing. He does an incredible amount of damage, has a great comfortable kit, and looks like Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. Why wouldn't I like that? For my newer players, Argenti could be a great pickup right before version 1.6 drops the newly announced challenger modes. For my veteran players, it comes down to personal choice. If you really like Kurama, pull Kurama. If you don't, then don't. It's cool. You already have a strong DPS anyway, because you were listening to me before, and you didn't waste your pulls building up pity, right? I can't say my usual outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube, but if you want to see more content regarding Argenti, check out this video here.